Hey guys, Bryce here. Today I want to talk about, can I open a bookkeeping business, and like what do most people overlook? So if you ever ask a question like, can I open a bookkeeping business, or if you're thinking about it, here are some of the things that like most people are going to tell you, like, hey, do this, do this, do this. Today I'm going to tell you about like what are the hidden things that cause people to fail, right? Because like most people talk about in business, like I think it's 9 out of 10 businesses fail within the first like 1 year, or I think it's within like the first 5 years. Now, when it's talking about professional services, that number does drop. It's more about like the overall, right? So if you're like opening up like a McDonald's or like a Walmart, those businesses generally have a much higher failure rate than our industry. And we're going to kind of talk about why. And like, you know, for the people that are in this industry and just business in general, what causes most people to fail, right? So number one is going to be cash flow. So I'm going to assume that we're like most businesses, they just run out of cash, right? Like maybe the owner like, you know, took out like a loan for $100,000, but the restaurant cost them $200,000 in their first year. They couldn't get any clients, and now, you know, they went out of business. But for service businesses, we're going to talk about some different ones. So for me, I got started in my business in 2015, and it was, you know, accounting, bookkeeping, and CFO services. I also started like a mentorship program in 2019. So I technically have two businesses. My main one, the accounting business, has been around for about 8 years. So technically I'm in the 1% of all businesses, right? Which if you just survive for long enough, you're already in the 1%, not even counting like revenue and just like income from the business. Now, the reason why we've been able to do that is for the following reasons. Like number one, it's about like your ability to focus on something without getting distracted. Now, most people, and you know, maybe you've been thinking about starting a business, like maybe you just want to avoid a lot of mistakes, or maybe like you've been watching some of my videos, you've seen other people growing at a very, very fast pace, and you just want some help. You just want to be able to like have someone walk beside you and help grow your business. Go ahead and click on the link inside the description, either above or below the video, and book a call with myself or a member of my team to see if we can help you inside of our paid training program. So back to this thing, right? So it's about the ability to focus on something without getting distracted. Now, most people get excited to work on the business for like 2 weeks, right? This is like a big thing that I did when I was getting started. I was like, you know, we're super excited. I was like, okay, let's go do this. Let's go get our brochure. Let's go get our website. Let's go just do stuff. And then like life happens. Oh, a project comes up at work, or oh, you know, I wanted to go do something at the gym, or oh, like I have like let's say like you're in like a softball league or something. You have like a big tournament come up. Like life is gonna happen. Like you have to assume that life is gonna happen. You have to assume that, you know, your car is going to get a flat tire. You have to assume that someone's gonna get sick. You have to assume that, you know, maybe your kid breaks their arm. Luckily for me, growing up, we never had broken arms in my family because, I don't know, we just maybe have like really dense bones. But life is gonna happen, right? So you have to be able to build your business in a way, or even build your schedule and your life in a way to where you can at least get a little bit of like of time for the business every single day or every single week, right? You have to be able to commit if you're going to be successful long term. What most people do is like they kind of rely on motivation and enthusiasm, when what they really need is consistency and discipline, right? Consistency just means like no matter what happens, whether it's a holiday, right? I did a little bit of work on the holidays, right? Most people don't. Like, to be honest, I did a lot less work than what I've ever done before on the holidays, right? Because I just love what I do. But, you know, I'm still doing something on the holidays, right? Another thing is discipline. Even when I don't want to do stuff, like sometimes I don't want to wake up early and like shoot videos. Right now I'm shooting it kind of in the afternoon because I had a little bit of time. But you know, I do stuff I don't want to do all the time in order to make sure that I get to what I want to get to. And, you know, some people might say, like, you know, how much is enough? And I gotta tell you, I don't know how much is too much. You know, if this was something that I hated doing, I probably would have stopped a long time ago. But, you know, once you kind of get to a certain point in your business and things are, like, coming and going smoothly, it just kind of, it's not necessarily that it's fun, but it's just, like, easy. It's like, I don't know if I could make as much money as what I make doing like a regular job or doing something else with as little time as I actually have to spend like grinding or doing like grunt work at this point. Now, was it always like that? No. But it's just kind of like, it's too easy for me to stop it, it's too easy. It's easier to run than it is for me to stop it at this point. Right? It's so simple. Both businesses are just so simple. But it's because I've put in that ability to focus for so long, right? So you start learning how to like get clients, how to go and fulfill on those clients, how to service the clients, how to then have a team, how to have your team do a bunch of work for you, how to have your team start doing marketing for you, how to have your team do sales for you. And then pretty soon it's just like all you're there for is just like answering questions. And then if you want to do like side projects, like for me, like the coaching business is more of like a way that I could help other people out out and get like more of like an internal kind of like fulfillment type of goal. It's not like one of those things where I have to go make a gajillion dollars a year from that side of the business, but it is something that I really enjoy doing. But I have the time because I built up my business in a way to where I'd be able to do it. Now the next thing is like, you have to be able to do any business, whether it's Amazon FBA, whether it's real estate, whether it's e-commerce, whether it's accounting firm, bookkeeping firm, whatever. You have to do it long enough without seeing results in order to get to the point where you can see results. Now, this is where 99% of people do it, right? Because a lot of people, like, they don't fail because they can't or because they run out of money. They fail because they won't or they don't have staying power. They can't delay that gratification, right? That's the key. Right? Because like for me, I had 6 months where the most money I made in a month was about I think about $2,100, and like 1,700 of that came from a cleanup project with like a 3-year duration, right? So it's just like, I did not make much money my first year. There was no reason why I should have kept going, but I did because it's just like, you know, I believed that the reward for persevering when I didn't see results was worth it. Now, in some cases, I'm not saying like if you don't have a job, like if you've quit your job and you're going and you're not making any money, that's different. But if you have a job, if you have, you know, a little bit of time in your day, just do it consistently until you start getting those results. Like I really do not encourage anyone to like just like leave their job too prematurely. What that usually causes is like, you know, them to be like struggling, just really struggling, right? I'd rather stay in the job, or even if you don't have a job, but get a part-time job while you're trying to grow your business. I mean, like in a lot of cases, like it's very, very overwhelming when you're starting, right? And if you're kind of on a cash crunch where you have to go make money within like 10 days, 20 days, 30 days, or else you're not going to survive, it's very hard for you to focus on a business, right? So like get yourself kind of situated to a certain spot, take the chaos out of your life, and then really start attacking the business. That's the one exception where I say like someone maybe should stop, you know, is if they like have no money, they have no income coming in, like they have no skills, and like they're like really like they have like $10 left in the bank account. That's when I would maybe like put a pause on it until you get like a part-time job or something. But if you have that, it's just like just commit to it, stick in it, and just attack, you know, until you go and see those results, because you will see the results if you stay in there long enough. It's just that most people won't, and like most people can't do it because it's like very confusing. It's like a very confusing point, and it's very, very, very like emotionally kind of draining. Now, you can cut short like the amount of like emotional drainage that comes by having better quality expectations. Now, for me, the way I got better quality expectations was from joining like coaching programs and like mentorships. I paid a lot of money in terms of like coaching programs, mentorships, so I could like basically see what is the reality. Because like when I was starting, I thought, you know, I would like put out some stuff on like social media and I'd have like more work than I would ever be able to handle. Like I was just so afraid of being like overwhelmed with the volume of work. For 99% of people, that's not going to happen. You're actually going to get radio silent if you open your doors and don't do anything marketing wise. Like you need to have a very strong system in place in order to get enough lead and enough volume to be able to start going and getting a significant amount of clients. Now for me, like the way I saw it is like I was seeing guys who were like making like 50 to 100K per month. When I was looking, it's like they would only get like, you know, like 10 clients, or they'd get like 3 new clients a month or 5 new clients a month. Well, they would get, and it was just like, wait, in order to get to 50K a month, I thought that I would have to have like, you know, 1 million clients at $300 a month, and you know, I thought it didn't make sense to me. And then I like saw it and I was like, oh, so this is what it actually is like. And once I could see what it was like and see what reality actually looked like, I'm a kind of person where if I can see it, I can clone it, right? If I can see it, I can clone it. Because then if I can see it, and understand why the person's doing it the way it is, what's the reality and what to expect, I can persevere as long as it takes. Like I can persevere as long as it takes. And that's like the difference in the secret. And that's why I like really enjoy like doing mentorship. Even to this day, even if I'm not going to necessarily learn something new, I like being around people that are a little bit further ahead of me, because then I can just get expectations. I can get better quality reality checks, and I know where I'm going, right? The next thing that causes most people to fail is they go down the rabbit hole of trying to learn accounting and bookkeeping way more than what they need to, right? So it's all about having what's called the minimum viable service. Now, what I mean by that is you want to be able to have enough skill set to know what you're doing, not screw up the client's books, but you don't want to become like a professor in accounting, a professor in bookkeeping prematurely, right? So a lot of people, it happens like maybe they're working in corporate America as an accountant or a bookkeeper, but then they start going down this like YouTube just kind of like rabbit trail of hundreds of thousands of videos of stuff. And really what most people do is like they just kind of do it, they either do it because like they're afraid to go out to the market and get rejected by people, or what starts happening is you just kind of realize how much stuff you don't actually know. So I think it's called the Darwin effect. It's basically like, let's say that there's like a graph. So it's like here and like here, right? So this is like how much you know, and this is like time. So it's like, it's almost like the more that you learn in the beginning. Oh, I'm sorry. It's about, this is your confidence level, and this is about like how much you know. So generally what happens is most people, they don't really know that much, but they start getting really, really confident. Like they learn like maybe like 5% of the total information. Like, I know everything. But as you start getting more and more and more and more and more information, you start realizing, whoa, there's so much stuff that I don't know, and your confidence level just nosedives, right? And then what starts happening is you start becoming at peace with, even though you don't know every single thing, you generally are going to be like, well, I know enough, and I know how to go and learn more information as I need it. But most people, what happens is they never get past that nosedive because they just get overwhelmed with how much stuff there is to learn. They just go and watch like 100,000. Sorry, my battery just died. But most people, like, they just have this kind of like just tail dive, and they just never can get out of it and never can recover, right? So it's like, just avoid that. Just learn what you need to be dangerous and learn what you need to do in order to like make sure the job is done well, and then kind of go. And if you need help learning like the base of accounting or bookkeeping, like we teach that inside of our programs, right? So it just makes it a lot easier for you to start getting that, you know, skill set to work on the client with confidence. And like, if you even need to, like, we sit with you and help you like organize your client works. But if you get a new client, maybe you don't know what to do, I just have you sit down on a call. We just like say, okay, so you do this. This is how you do it. And if you need someone to even like supervise some of the work for you or for your team, then we can definitely help you inside of our program with that. Okay. Now, for example, like one of our students named Rebecca, when she knew a little bit about accounting and bookkeeping. Like she did like one of those like courses for like $97 to kind of like learn bookkeeping. But you know, when she joined our program, she didn't feel 100% comfortable. So we just sat her down, made sure that she started getting comfortable, made sure she understand like the basics, like what are the different 12 areas of accounting, bookkeeping, QuickBooks that you need to know in order to be deadly and really be able to know that without a shadow of a doubt you can help clients. Once she had that, we kept working with her while she was getting new clients. She ended up making it to about $4,800 per month. And it took her 87 days after she started going to clients. So like it took her about 30 days to like really like learn bookkeeping and just like understand like the principles. Then about 87 days to get about $4,800 per month worth of clients. And then we kept working with her on the bookkeeping level as she kind of kept growing and growing. But it's just like, make sure that you're just constantly like focus on the things that matter, which is like growing your business, getting clients, and then keeping the client relationships. Now, one thing that I always want to think about too is, right, just in time learning is way better than just in case learning. So a lot of people, they're just like, well, what if I one day might potentially need it? It's like, that's not as important. Like the 1% of information you might need that's like an emergency, like 10 years from now in the future, is not really the thing you should be focused on. You should be focused on like what is like the 80% or the 20% of information that is going to like cause like 80% of the results, right? That's the stuff you need to be focused on. All the other stuff is just kind of like, you know, there, and like we can learn that as we need it. We don't have to go and like get basically like a PhD in bookkeeping in order to one day potentially avoid that or avoid being embarrassed if someone asks a question we don't know. Focus on what do you need, like what's the minimum skill, and then like learn new stuff as you need it. Learn on the job while you do it. And then that's going to make it so you can always be growing your business, because you're never going to know every single thing. Like I don't know every single thing. My partner doesn't know every single thing. Like no one knows every single thing. But if someone asks a question I don't know how to handle, I know exactly where to turn in order to go get information and learn more stuff, right? And that's the secret to success. Next thing is going to be like, what is actual internet marketing at its core? So most people understand internet marketing is you get an audience, you have a message, and that's basically like, what are you saying to them that's really attractive? Then the relationship you build with them. Even at its core, you can really just do an audience and then relationship, right? The simplest version of internet marketing that I even do today in this business, I have a lead list, right? Where I know like these kind of people are interested in this kind of topic. I then go and say, okay, just teach stuff about the topic or just share stuff about the topic or my enthusiasm about the topic. And then over time, they just learn more and more about me. We keep talking, maybe I'll message them back and forth, and they end up wanting to work with you. That's all internet marketing is, right? But most people want to complicate. They want to do like fancy websites. They want to learn advertising. They want to learn how to do like email marketing. They want to learn how to do like YouTube videos, how to post content. It's like you don't need all that stuff. You just need names and then build a relationship with them. That's all you need. If you can learn how to do that in a very, very consistent manner, you're going to be able to grow your business very consistently. Now, we have a lot of videos on the channel about like marketing. Now, so you can go ahead and like watch them. I'm not really going to go that deep into that because I know like this video might get a little bit longer if we start doing that. Also, like if you want to skip all these videos, I know we have like hundreds of videos on this channel, and like maybe you're just like, you know, rather than watch and sift through hundreds of videos, you just want to get like the fastest, most direct path to making money and to growing your business. I just invite you to go and check out maybe our mentorship program, right? So there's a link inside the description. On side of it, you can like book a call, and you can like just book a call with my team, see if like we can help you out inside of our program. Because like it's not a good fit for everybody, but for the people who it is a good fit for, like the results are just are crazy. Now, the reason why is because we are very selective. Like in some cases, like, you know, if we can just deem it's not going to be a good fit, like we just let you know and say, hey, you know, I don't necessarily think this is the right thing because, right, we're looking for a very specific person, a very specific situation, and a very specific set of skills that if you have those and if you kind of meet that criteria, it just works very, very well because it's a very proven process. It's very formulaic and very like very, very, very powerful and potent when the right person gets it. So, you know, it's just one of those things. If you want to see if you qualify or if you'd be a good fit for the type of like help and work we give, go ahead and click a link inside the description, book a call with my team, see if we can help you out, okay? I will talk to you later. Have a good rest of your day. Take it easy and talk to you soon.